a warm welcome back to the USA English podcast. We are absolutely thrilled to have you here with us today. I'm Erica.
And I'm Marco. Today's subject is something that touches every aspect of our lives. We're talking about how to talk about personal growth in English.
Personal growth is a topic that comes up in conversations all the time. People talk about their goals, their progress, their challenges, and the ways they're trying to become better versions of themselves.
Yes, and it's not just a philosophical topic. It's practical. It's about how we learn, how we change, how we handle difficulties, and how we move forward in life.
Today, we're going to give you the vocabulary, phrases, and confidence you need to talk about personal growth in English. Whether you're discussing your own journey or asking someone about theirs, you'll have the right words.
We'll cover topics like setting goals, overcoming challenges, building habits, learning from mistakes, staying motivated, and celebrating progress.
And we'll do it in simple, clear English that you can use in everyday conversations.
All right, Marco, let's get started. So, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling really reflective today. I've been thinking a lot about personal growth lately, especially about how much I've changed in the last few years.
That's interesting. What made you start thinking about that?
I was looking through some old notes from a few years ago, and I realized how different my mindset is now. I used to be so hard on myself. Now I'm more patient and understanding. That's beautiful. Personal growth is often invisible until you look back and see the distance you've traveled.
Exactly. And that's what we want to talk about today, how to recognize and talk about that journey.
Let's dive into our main conversation.
Okay, Erica, let's start with the most basic question. What does personal growth mean to you?
To me, personal growth means becoming a better version of yourself over time. It's about learning, improving, and evolving as a person.
That's a great definition. It's not about being perfect. It's about moving forward, even if it's just a little bit.
Yes, and personal growth can happen in many areas. Your career, your relationships, your health, your mindset, your skills, and your emotional well-being.
So it's a broad topic, but we can talk about it in simple, practical ways.
Exactly. Let's start with goal setting, because that's where personal growth often begins.
How do people usually talk about their goals?
They often say things like, I want to improve my English, or I want to get healthier, or I want to be more confident.
Those are good starting points. But for personal growth, it helps to be more specific.
Yes, instead of saying, I want to improve my English, you could say, I want to speak English more confidently in meetings, or I want to read one English book a month.
That's more specific and more actionable.
Exactly. And then you can track your progress, which is another important part of personal growth.
Now, let's talk about why personal growth is important.
Personal growth helps you become more resilient, more adaptable, and more fulfilled. It helps you handle challenges better and enjoy life more.
And when you're growing, you feel more alive. You're not stuck. You're moving.
That's a beautiful way to put it. What are some common obstacles to personal growth? Fear is a big one. Fear of failure, fear of change, fear of the unknown.
Yes, and another is comfort. People often stay where they are because it's comfortable, even if they're not happy.
That's true. Growth requires stepping out of your comfort zone.
What does comfort zone mean?
It's the familiar situation where you feel safe and in control, but growth happens outside of it.
So growth is uncomfortable, but it's worth it.
Exactly. And talking about that discomfort is part of the conversation.
How can people talk about stepping out of their comfort zone?
They can say, I'm trying something new and it feels a little scary, but I know it's good for me. Or, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone by doing this.
Those are honest and relatable statements.
Yes, and they invite the other person to share their own experiences too.
Now let's talk about learning from mistakes.
This is a big part of personal growth. People who grow are people who learn from their failures.
How can someone talk about learning from a mistake?
They can say, I made a mistake, but I learned a lot from it. Or, that experience taught me something valuable.
Another phrase is, I don't see it as a failure, I see it as a lesson.
That's a powerful mindset shift.
And it's a very useful phrase to use in conversations.
Now let's talk about habits.
Habits are the building blocks of personal growth. What we do every day shapes who we become.
How can people talk about building good habits?
They can say, I'm trying to build the habit of exercising every morning, or I'm working on being more consistent with my studies.
Another good phrase is, I'm replacing a bad habit with a better one.
That's a great way to phrase it.
Now let's talk about motivation.
Motivation is what gets you started, but it often fades.
That's why people need discipline too.
What's the difference between motivation and discipline?
Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a choice. You don't always feel motivated, but discipline keeps you going.
That's an important distinction.
How can someone talk about their motivation?
They can say, I'm motivated by my goals, or what keeps me going is knowing why I started.
Another good phrase is, when I feel unmotivated, I remind myself of my bigger purpose.
That's very relatable. Everyone struggles with motivation sometimes.
Now let's talk about celebrating progress.
This is something many people forget to do. They achieve something and then immediately move to the next goal without celebrating.
But celebrating progress is important for staying motivated.
How can someone talk about celebrating progress?
They can say, I'm proud of how far I've come, or I took a moment to appreciate my progress.
Another phrase is, I celebrate small wins because they add up.
That's a great mindset.
Now, let's talk about the role of support in personal growth.
Growth is often easier when you have support from others.
How can someone talk about the support they receive?
They can say, I'm grateful for the people who encourage me, or my friends and family have been really supportive.
Another phrase is, having someone to talk to makes a big difference.
Yes, support makes the journey feel less lonely.
Now, let's talk about setbacks.
Setbacks are inevitable in any growth journey. The key is how you respond to them.
How can someone talk about a setback?
They can say, I had a setback, but I'm not giving up, or this is just a temporary obstacle.
Another phrase is, setbacks are part of the process.
That's an important mindset. It normalizes the struggle.
Now, let's give some example sentences for learners.
I'm working on becoming a more patient person. I've been trying to step out of my comfort zone lately. I made some mistakes, but I learned from them. I'm proud of the progress I've made this year.
Those are excellent. They're honest, natural, and easy to use.
Now, let's talk about the vocabulary of personal growth.
First word, growth. This means the process of developing or improving.
For example, personal growth is a lifelong journey, and I've seen a lot of growth in myself this year.
Another example is, growth often comes from challenges.
Growth is not always comfortable, but it's always valuable.
Next word is goal. This is something you want to achieve.
For example, my goal is to become more confident in English, and setting goals helps me stay focused.
Another example is, I achieved one of my goals this month.
Goals give direction to your growth.
Next word, progress. This means forward movement and improvement.
For example, I'm making progress every day, and progress is more important than perfection.
Another example is, I can see my progress when I look back.
Progress is the reward for consistent effort.
Next word, challenge. This is something difficult that tests your abilities.
For example, learning English is a challenge, but I'm enjoying it. And I like to take on new challenges.
Another example is, challenges help you grow.
Challenges are opportunities in disguise.
Next word, habit. This is something you do regularly.
For example, I want to build a daily English habit, and good habits lead to good results.
Another example is, I'm trying to break a bad habit.
Habits shape your future.
Next word, discipline. This is the ability to do what you should do even when you don't feel like it.
For example, discipline is more important than motivation, and I need more discipline to study every day.
Another example is, discipline builds character.
Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation fades.
Next word, resilience. This is the ability to recover from difficulties.
For example, resilience helps you bounce back from setbacks, and I'm developing more resilience.
Another example is, resilience is a key part of personal growth.
Resilience is what makes you stronger.
Next word, mindset. This is the way you think about things.
For example, a growth mindset is essential for personal growth, and I'm working on changing my mindset.
Another example is, your mindset determines your success.
Mindset is the foundation of everything.
Next word, reflection. This is thinking carefully about your experiences.
For example, reflection helps me understand my progress, and I spend time reflecting on my day.
Another example is, reflection is a powerful tool for growth.
Reflection turns experience into wisdom.
Next word, comfort zone. This is the familiar situation where you feel safe.
For example, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, and growth happens outside your comfort zone.
Another example is, it's scary, but I'm leaving my comfort zone.
Comfort zones are cozy, but growth happens beyond them.
Now, let's do a conversation practice about personal growth.
Great idea.
Erica, how do you work on personal growth?
I try to set small, realistic goals for myself. I also make time for reflection every week. I ask myself what I learned and what I can do better.
That's a great approach. Do you ever feel discouraged?
Of course, sometimes I feel like I'm not making progress, but I remind myself that growth takes time. I also talk to supportive friends who encourage me.
What do you do when you face a setback?
I try not to be too hard on myself. I take a step back, figure out what went wrong, and adjust my plan. I see setbacks as learning opportunities.
That's a very healthy mindset. What advice would you give to someone just starting their personal growth journey?
I would say start small. Don't try to change everything at once. Pick one area, focus on it, and be patient with yourself. And celebrate every small victory.
That's excellent advice. I would add that having a support system is really helpful. Share your goals with someone you trust.
Yes, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We all need support sometimes.
Now, let's give some sample answers for common personal growth questions.
If someone asks, "What are you working on right now?" you can say, "I'm focusing on being more patient with myself," or "I'm trying to build a daily exercise habit."
If someone asks, "What have you learned lately?" you can say, "I've learned that it's okay to make mistakes," or "I've learned that progress takes time."
If someone asks, "What's your biggest challenge right now?" you can say, "My biggest challenge is staying motivated," or "I struggle with consistency, but I'm working on it."
These answers are honest and natural.
Yes, and they invite the other person to share their own experiences too.
Now, let's recap the key points.
First, personal growth is about becoming a better version of yourself over time.
Second, start with clear goals. Be specific about what you want to achieve.
Third, embrace challenges and mistakes. They are part of the process.
Fourth, build good habits. They are the foundation of growth.
Fifth, be patient. Growth takes time.
Sixth, celebrate your progress. Don't wait until you've reached the final goal.
Seventh, seek support. You don't have to grow alone.
Eighth, reflect regularly. Ask yourself what you're learning.
The main message is this: personal growth is not about being perfect. It's about being better than you were yesterday.
Yes, and you can talk about it in simple, natural English.
Now we want to hear from you. This is our favorite part.
Our question of the day is, what is one area of personal growth you're working on right now, and why?
I'll answer first. I'm working on being more present in conversations. I want to listen more and not rush to respond.
That's a beautiful goal. I'm working on being more consistent with my exercise routine. I want to build a habit that lasts.
See, we have different answers, and that's okay.
So viewers, we want to know about you. You can write, I'm working on because, or one area of personal growth for me is blank, or I want to improve my because.
Please tell us in the comments. It helps us make better videos, and it helps you practice writing.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We hope this lesson helps you talk about personal growth with confidence.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. Click the subscribe button and the little bell. That way, you won't forget to join us for our next lesson.
You are all wonderful students. Keep growing, keep learning, and keep believing in yourself.
Yes, every step forward is progress. Be proud of yourself.
Have a wonderful day, evening, and night.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye for now. See you in the next lesson.